Recording in progress.
Dana, you can start now.
Okay, okay. Okay, so we're going to do a recap of what we talked about yesterday. Um, okay, so yesterday we talked about UI and UX design. Also talked about product design. We talked about what springs to mind when you hear UI UX. What springs to mind when you hear when someone says I'm a UI designer and I'm a UX designer. So like I said yesterday, UI stands for user interface, and then UX stands for user experience. Things that springs to mind when you say UI designs are design elements. When you talk about design elements, you're talking about the fonts. Those are design elements, colors, patterns, the layout of your designs. Those are elements under the design element. Thing that springs to mind when you talk about UI designs are interactions, how the user interacts with your product, how user interacts with your product. Are they pleased with what they are getting from the product? The visuals. Then you have the design system. You think about the design system, think about prototyping, bringing your designs to life, making them responsive, giving responsive designs, prototyping. When you design your when you completed your design, you have to make them responsive, make them clickable. That's prototyping. And then for UI UX designers that are more into web, you know, you need to thinking about making your web responsive websites. You know, these are things that springs to mind when you talk about a UI designer. Now let's go to UX. When you talk about UX, user experience, I made mention about user personas, user journey, user flow, usability. One of the most important part of UX designer design is usability, the ability for users to use your product and always want to come back to it. And then product design. But before I talk about product design, I said yesterday that a product is an item or service that is sold to save a customer's need. That is what a product is. It's an item that is sold to save customers need. And people that use the product are we human beings. We are the users. We are the ones that use products. Everything that we use today, they are products. They are products that was designed by somebody. It was conceived by someone and it was designed by someone. So we are the ones that use products. Since a product is an item that is being sold, you understand? So what comes in mind when you talk about product design is the adoption, how your product adopts in the market, how the people welcome your product. Is it solving a particular problem in the market? Conversion. Is your product converting people to itself? Is it doing what it's intended to? How do you convert people? How do you bring people, more people to use your product? So that is things that springs to mind when you're talking about product design, the conversion, retention, how you convert people, make them want to use your product and keep using it, retention, keep using it. And then there and there, you're thinking about how to grow the product. That is a product designer, a product design. And product design is part of a team. When you talk about product design is part of a product team. And the people or the roles of a product, the roles that make up a product team are product managers, product designers, data engineers, data analysts, software engineers, and tech sales. I remember saying that yesterday. So, for you to be a product designer, you have to be in a product team. Now, product designers are often more engaged in one project. Product designer, like I said yesterday, they're often more engaged in one project. So now that we know the difference between UI and UX and product design, we know what who a product designer is. Product designer are people that make create meaningful designs, meaningful design solutions, you know, and things that springs to mind when you say you are a UI UX designer now. Because I said I was going to talk about myself, how I started my journey, and how you can also start. You don't have to wait for so much. So things that springs to mind when you call yourself a UI UX designer, like when you design a product, you conceive a product and you design it and then put it to the market. What you should consider is the product design easy to use? The product that you design, is it easy to use? How can I make the experience more friendly? That is a product, that is a UI UX designer. How can just a UI UX designer this time around, you're not in the product team because you're working solely for yourself. People people contact you or contract you to do a job for them, you know. When you do that job, you you deliver, and that is the end of it. That is the end of it. So how can how can you make the experience more friendlier? Because now you have both knowledge of a UI and UX designer. How can you reduce friction in the experience? How can you make the screens lesser and make the work easier? You don't have to go through long process. You understand? You just have to make it easy in short steps. Just make a shortcut instead of going through 7 screens to do a task. You can just make it to like 3 screens, 4 screens. Trying to reduce the friction, trying to make it make the experience more friendlier. People will always want to come back. That's for a UI UX designer. So now, as a product designer in a product team, things that comes to mind are: is the product a right fit for the current market? You have a product. After brainstorming and everything, you come out with the product, and it's time for user testing. This is just a recap of yesterday for those of us that were not able to join us yesterday. This is a recap of yesterday, so you know the difference between the UI UX product designer, what it's all about, what you are getting yourself into, if you, in case you really want to pursue a career in UI UX. So when you're in a product team, you call yourself a product designer, things that springs to mind are things like this product we're about to push in the market. Is it a great fit for the current economy? How is the product going to survive? How do you plan on improving this product? Those are the things that comes to mind because in that team, in that product team, excuse me, in that product team, you are going to keep updating. You guys are going to keep building and making it. You are evolving your designs, evolving your product, getting feedback from your users, people that's your targeted audience. You are getting feedbacks. You are documenting these things as a product designer, product manager is doing their jobs, and each and every sectors aspect they are doing their jobs there, and then you can see that is a continuous something. It's not something that it's not a job that you'll be contracted to do, and then after you do the job and you deliver it, that's the end of it. Nothing, none of your business. That is the difference for UI UX designer because you can take on larger products, larger projects. But a product designer, you stick to a project. It gives you a focus. You understand? So product designers are responsible for creating meaningful design. The goal is to merge business needs and goals with the user needs and then create a meaningful solution. You understand? Your company, your product needs is meeting the needs of your user to make them always want to come back and we make them a loyal customer. And so that is actually pretty much what a product designer does. You understand? And made mention yesterday that product designers are needed in a number of industries. You understand? We have not only in the IT world, we also have industrial product designers and we have digital product designers. But for the sake of this bootcamp, we're going to talking about digital product designers, and these ones are heavily dependent on software. They are heavily dependent on software. So that is that. And how do you design a product? As a product designer, how do you design a product? So now let me share my screen. Yeah, can you all see my screen? Can someone confirm? Hello me?
Yes, we can
Okay.
see it, sir.
All right. Okay. So these are going to be the learning objectives for today. And let's not forget, as Pelumi has said, we should drop our questions on Slido so that our questions will be attended to after sessions. Okay, so we're going to start with product research. I said earlier that how do you design a product? So these are the processes we're going to start with. Product research. Product research refers to the process of gathering and synthesizing evidence to reduce risks and increase confidence in decision that you are making. as you build product. You understand? So this is you gathering information, product research. You want to build the product. You need to know how people are going to react to this product. You need to make research. You need to know people's attitude, people's behavior, you know, the attitude you get from people when from the user will be able to give you a tailored way to, you know, to arrange your user persona, the user journey. You understand? You have to do a research. You understand? Take for example, you want to design um, the product that would solve the problem of um, um, let's say you want to listen to music. You want to listen to music. What you need to do is you go to your app store, you download um, the app that plays music, and if you search for a music app, you see that you have a whole number of music apps that you can download, and the same music you want to listen to on this app, you can listen to this same music on the other app. But we have users for each of these app. We have users for this each of these app, and most people prefer product A to product B. Most people prefer listening on Spotify. Most people prefer listening to music on Apple Music. You understand? So this research are the things that you know people people you get when you do research. You understand? You make a research on products, then you observe your user. This is the way this user is using this product. This is the way the other user is using that product. That is, you are testing your product, and then the information that you get from this user A while using your product, and information you get from user B while using your product brings about the conversion, because once you get the the behavioral the behaviors, the survey you get from your user, then you can be able to make changes. Okay, this user likes things like this, things relating to this. Okay, we should get more articles on things related to this. You understand? For this particular user, it is all designed to work that way. Now, competitive research is understanding your, because there are a lot of competitors in the market. In this, I'm going to use um mainly I'm going to use music, all these music apps. You understand? We have different competitors. We have Spotify, we have um Apple Music, we have Boomplay. All these people, they are apps that you can listen to music from. You can listen to Burna Boy's music on Spotify. You can also listen to Burna Boy's same music, that same music you listen to on Spotify. You can listen to that same music on Apple Music. But why do people prefer Apple Music to Spotify? Because there are things that people like to see that are on apps, and they are why they don't you don't find them on other apps. You understand? The comprehensive analysis of competitor products and representation of the result of the analysis in a comparable way. When you do research, that is how you get facts when you do research. Research helps product team understand industry standard and identify opportunities for product in the given market segment. When you do a research, that is how you get understanding of the industry that your product is going into and how people use things in that aspect. You understand? A competitor is a company that shares your goal and that fights for the same thing that your product team wants. You understand? A competitor is someone that knows your target audience. Your target audience is your competitor's target audience. You understand the same now? They share the same goal with you. And this time around, there are two types of competitors in the market. When you talk about competitive research, we have the direct competitors and we have the indirect competitors. The direct competitors are the ones that compete with you, or let's say compete with your product head to head. They don't want to give your product space. The same thing that you are doing, the same thing that they are doing, the same thing that you are offering, and the same thing that they are offering, only that they are offering it in a better way. So you have to make a research on how you can improve yours. You understand? Because your competitor and yourself, you have the same audience. They are selling to everyone, and you're also selling to everyone. You understand? So these are the things that you do as a product designer. You have to make research. You have to make research so that you understand. You have a product you want to you okay. I made mention of how to design a product. First, you have to brainstorm. You have to brainstorm. This is what I want to do, and this product is going to solve this particular issue in the market. How do I start it? You start identifying your competitors. Okay, this is this. Then you go in and make research. What are these people doing that I want to do different in this product? How is this product? How does this product look? I don't want my product to look like this. I want it to look, I want to have a different look. You understand? You've made your research. Okay, now it's time for you to test the product on people according to your research. So when you test the product on these people and you've gotten your feedback, you document it. You document it. That is what you call you document your UX. Then gradually you started creating your user journey. User journey. Now after you've gotten the document and you've arranged your document from the testing of your product, then you understand the vision. You know where your where what your users like. You then you define your differentiators. You create your report and then you keep maintaining and keep updating it. This is how this according to the research I have made, this is what my users like, people that interact with my product, this is what they like to do, this is how they do their things. This is how the tax is being done, jobs to be done, and this is how they interact with your product. And then anything you are doing after that, it should be in that circle of your research. You keep doing research so that you keep improving your products, keep improving your design, keep improving the experience with your user. You understand that user analysis. That is it. So based on the product research results, UX designers can identify key user group and create representative personas. You know, personas are fictional characters created to represent the different types of products in a similar way. You understand? So the purpose of a persona is to create reliable and realistic representation of the key audience. So um that is user analysis. So when you create when you've done these things, you made that research, product research, the competitive research, talking about your competitors, those that have similar products with you as a product designer, that designing similar products. How do you stay of ahead of them? So um Now let's go to user journey map. User journey map. If you look at this screen very well, you take a look and you say, what is customer journey example? User journey map is it? These are the things I said about UX design yesterday. That is user journey map. Your user journey starts from when you start interacting with product. You know, your user journey has started. You started interacting with the product. It starts creating a journey. You know, a user journey map is visualization of the process that a person goes through in order to accomplish a goal. You understand? It's actually represented as the series of steps in which a person can interact with a product. A user journey can take a wide varieties of form depending on the context and depending on the business goal. You understand? So, user story and job story. What you want to do, you understand? A user story is a simple description of something that the user wants to accomplish. You understand? You can only as a user, you can only want to do something in you can only want to do something in a situation, and then you have and you are watching something else as the expected outcome. But in this case, in a user story or in a user journey, you can say it is simply what the user itself wants to do, wants to accomplish by um, using your product, interacting with your product. You understand? So a job story is a way to describe features. Is the description of a feature from a job to be done perspective. A job story is an effective technique for defining a problem without being a perspective of a solution. So user interface, like I talked about UI. I didn't say much yesterday about wireframes, so I'm going to talk about that today. And that is part of UI. And then now, if we're talking about wireframes, we have different kinds of wireframe. Wireframe is if you see look at this screen, the sketching of see how this screen is, this mobile screen here, and the one you can see that somebody sketched. This one looks like something that was sketched by with pencil and paper. You understand? And this one looks like it's in a phone, an iPhone. You understand? So that is wireframing. You have high fidelity wireframe. We have low fidelity wireframe. In this case, we're talking about sketching. When you are sketching now, you don't need a mock-up. You understand? An idea just comes to your mind. You say, okay, this is what I want to design. You carry a pen and paper, and then you draw, and then you start sketching and start writing what this is, where this is how to, where this will be, where this will be, where this will be. And when you are done sketching, you can now go to your design tool. You know, your design tool. Most of them they have frames where you can screens like this to just come. You have ranging from iPhone 6s down to the latest iPhone screen. You have desktop view. We have tablet view, iPad view in most of our design environment. So in wireframe, we have low wireframe, low wireframe, and high. So we have low fidelity wireframe, and we also have the high fidelity wireframe. The low fidelity wireframes are the ones that you can see on the screens right now. The ones that just use visual designs for as representation. Just place where you put your pictures and text and call to actions of every other thing. But while the high fidelity wireframe is using real images, real life images to do your designs. You understand? In order not for you to make mistakes after you've gone through the sketching process, you can then proceed to the low fidelity wireframes to make sure that you know what you are doing and the designs are intact before you move to your high fidelity wireframes. These are the things that make up your design systems, and you can actually go back to them. And in case you are designing anything in the nearest future, there are things that you can go back to and pick from instead of designing again. You know, you can pick from there. So wireframe is a visual guide that presents a page structure as well as hierarchy and key elements. So that is wireframe. All these ones are just English. So basically, designing of screens with paper and pencil, sketching, doing a low fidelity wireframes. These are processes, and this can you can learn these things. These are easy ways. There are easy ways to learn these things. You just need to pay attention and do them consistently. Before you know it, you are where you want to be. So a design sprint is a 5 days design framework for validating ideas and solving challenges. It enables product team to build a prototype that they can put in front of users to validate the initial design hypothesis. You know, design sprints, you have to, you know, you bring initial designs to users because everything we'll be talking about will be saying users because the at the end of the day, you're not the one that will use the product that you design. There are people waiting outside to use your product. Your targeted audience are is everybody outside. You understand? Outside your team, that is your targeted audience. So you have to, prototype the designs, your UI designs that you've made, you know, and validate it to users. You bring it. Okay, this is the design. What do you feel? You know, what do you feel about this thing? What are the changes that we can make? Like design process, design sprints, their process of quickly creating the product future state, you know, might either be a website or an app, and it validates users, stakeholders, and developers and other designers. This whole concept is based on the idea that by a design team setting a direction and iterating rapidly, it's possible to design a product that presents the maximum value for people who will use it. Now, prototyping, I just talked about design sprints, talked about wireframing. You know, this is a paper wireframe. The sketching is sketching. It is always good to sketch, but if you know that you can actually find your way around there, you can just start with your low fidelity wireframes. You understand? Because the process, the prototyping has a process. If you have the low fidelity wireframe, then you graduate from low fidelity wireframe, then you build a high fidelity wireframe for your product. And then when you've done the high fidelity wireframe prototyping, you understand, you prototype everything. This one, when you click on this one, you made everything responsive. You click on this one from the high fidelity wireframes, it goes to another screen. When you want to go back, you press this one, it goes back, making everything work. That is the prototyping. Then, when you are done with that, you hand it over to the software engineers for the coding. You understand? So, the finalized version of the prototype is handed over for development. Yes, and when it comes to prototyping, you have to be efficient. You understand? Because in the low fidelity wireframe is just like a guide. When you now get to the point where you design your high fidelity wireframe, you have to make sure that it is efficient, because that will be the final point of your design before it goes to the coding aspect. You understand? So prototyping is something that you would enjoy doing as a UI UX designer. It's something that you enjoy doing once you've learned it, and you keep improving when you keep practicing. You understand? You keep improving when you keep practicing. So one of the most effective prototyping process is rapid prototyping. You know, and rapid prototyping can be presented as a cycle. Yes, rapid prototyping can be presented as a circle, based on feedbacks. You know, when you've done the prototyping and giving it to people to user to test, the feedbacks you get, you identify the areas in the prototype, in the design, that needs to be clarified, need to be changed, need to be checked. You understand? Rapid prototyping, dependent on um, the feedback you get from your user. You know, after you're giving users uh, your prototype design to use, so you want to get feedbacks and see how people interact with your um, with your product, if it is solving the solution or it is not doing what it is supposed to do. So testing with real users, like I said just now, you have to give your product to people to use, because at the end of the day, your product is meant for the users, the people that use your product. The product your product teams are working on are designs that will be used others by other people aside your team. So you have to test your product with real users. So the basic idea behind usability test is to check whether the design of a product works well with the target user. It is relatively easy to test a concept with representative users. So the primary goal of this user experience testing method is to identify usability problem, collect qualitative data, and determine the participant overall satisfaction with the product. So as you are as people are interacting with your product, you are getting the feedbacks from the user, and then you are iterating, you are going through them and then making changes to make sure that when the user uses it again, to be easy. You understand? You get the feedbacks from them, and then you administer the changes, and then the your users are happy at the end of the day that okay, this product is what we download or is what we're using. You understand? So that is okay. Before we move into questions, I try my best to make sure that this class is not. I want to make sure that this class is not so boring. Let's all learn from it. Okay, we still have 8 people, so I'm going to share my experience so far working in the UI UX design environment. I started off as, can you guys hear me? Follow me. Are you here? Follow me, stay here. Okay, follow me. You are here. All right. Um, I started off as a web developer. I started off as a web developer in school. I didn't really have interest in design so much. I just Web design was quite easy for for me, because for every computer science student then, website building was one of the easiest things to do, as a computer science undergraduate. So I started with computer science with um, web design. I started designing websites. Someone introduced me to Canva. I started the first design environment I started using was Canva. You know, I started making research. I started doing. I learned so much during my IT. I registered for a course, web design. I learned and I started practicing. I started practicing while in school, going to class. The things that they were not teaching us in class, our lecturers were saying, it now became more understandable because I was practicing in real life and I was getting theoretical knowledge from school, you know. So when I got out of school, I decided that I cannot just be doing web design, you know. I need to find something else to do. But after all, I'm a graduate and I graduated in computer science, It's everything now is digital. Let me look for something to do. Then I had a friend who always talk about UI UX. So I read about UI UX. It was kind of the same thing, similar to what I do as a web developer. You know, it's kind of similar. So I started learning, started watching YouTube videos. I started seeing ads on Instagram, on Twitter, boot camps and the rest. UI UX, what else you need to know about UI UX, how you can start as a UI UX designer, started joining groups on WhatsApp like this, to learn. I took that step. I don't just want to be idle. Let me do something whilst the day keeps going. So that is how I started. And then I started very well. And then there was a day I was at one of these spaces, American Corner. And there, that was where I met Mr. Damola, who is the founder of Builder Studio. And it was a program though. And I was busy working. I sat down there. I had a project, I had a gig I was working on. And then Mr. Damola was having a talk at the other end. And then when it was time for, he was watching me. I didn't notice when it was time for networking, break. And he came to meet me and hello, hi, good morning, how are you? Say sorry, I saw you from afar. I saw that you have something that you're designing. You are and I said yes, okay. But he saw my designs and he said these designs are really nice, but I think you need to to grow. You are just starting. You could identify the fact that I was new to UI UX. So he gave me an opportunity. He told me about Builder Studio, and he said he has a platform for people like us. That was a long time ago. And then I was like, I, I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to join if you give me the opportunity. He said he's going to give me a space where I can work on real life experience, you know, real life projects. He gave me internship to work and to grow myself. You understand? So he has been the one pushing me, and over the years I've learned so much on product design, UI UX, identify myself as a UI UX designer until he brought me into the team, product team, and I became a product designer. So for you to be a product designer, you have to be in a product team, like I said earlier in the class. So that is how I started. And you know, these are kind of work. A lot of people envy it. It's not everybody that has knowledge to do these things. Not everybody that has knowledge. Some people have knowledge, but most of them they don't have the time. You know, the majority of most of these things you need data to do. You know, you need to be online. You need a laptop to work. to learn, to be able to design, to start from somewhere. You understand? And it's not that easy, but you have to start. Some of us might have a constraint, but you have to start. If we're talking about bringing you to work on real life or real life projects, how would you work on real life projects when you don't know? You have a when you have a just have the basic knowledge of what a product designer does, but you don't know how to do it. So first, you have to learn. You understand? So as a young person, YouTube should be your friend. YouTube is your go-to guy for anything. The Google is your go-to guy for anything. Once you need any information, ask Google. Once you want to watch a video, you want to see anything, because there is nothing you want to find that you will not find on the internet. There is nothing you want to find on UI UX or product design, whichever one you want to call it, that you will not find on the internet. There are so many videos, millions of videos on YouTube that you can watch and practice with. That will help build your skills. When you see art like this online, feel free to join. You know, there's no knowledge is wasted, as they say. So you start from there, and then you grow yourself. You grow yourself. So at Builder Studio, we are welcoming you, and we are creating an opportunity for you to break into tech. Now we get a lot of people saying, I'm a product designer. I did a class for about 3 months. I know these things now. I know how these things work, but I need internship. I want to work somewhere. I need to work on real life screens, real life projects. I'm looking for internship. At Builder Studio, we offer you things, resources for you to grow yourself. That is one of the aim of this bootcamp. This that you've learned today and yesterday, and many more to learn when you stick around with Builder Studio. I myself have learned a lot from Builder Studio whilst working with Builder Studio. I told you I started off as a junior UI UX designer, but now I can say I'm a senior because I was given that opportunity to grow myself in the product team. So you as well can, you know, be given that opportunity. It's called internship as a service. Internship as a service. So that is how it goes. That is how I started um, um, as a UI UX designer. So currently, I would say I'm a product designer, I'm a UI UX designer, I'm a web developer, because all these things they have to do with design. You understand? So that is actually that. If I'm not saying too much, so that I don't bore you with um so many uh, so many talks. So with that, we can say um, I've come to the end of my class. I'm just going to do a brief recap of um, what I said today. So, like I said earlier, um, UI, UX, product design, the differences between them, when you can call yourself a product designer, what a product is, what product design is, you know, what user journey is, user persona, user flow, the main, the main importance or the main responsibility of a UX designer, which is usability. To make sure that your product is visible. Then users interact with your product, they get positive, feeling about your product. They are satisfied with your product. UI, user interface, all about the interactions you get from your user when they interact with um, your designs, creating responsive design, eye-catchy, user-centric design, and then when you create your designs, you prototype, you know, prototype, bring your designs to life, make them responsive. You know, talk about wireframing, low fidelity wireframe, high fidelity wireframe before you move to um, prototyping and then user testing because you have to know your targeted audience, your users have to know what the product is all about, how they interact with it, and the problem it solves. You understand? So, um, product research, you have to make research of the product you want to build. You have to make research of the product you want to build. You get the the satisfaction from your users, what people, how people react, how people think, how people feel, and what they believe about your product, the actions people take within your product, you know, whereby revealing themselves, by observing users, how it is helpful to understand how users navigate through your app, you know, um, um, competitive research, making this competitive research with your competitors. First, identify who your competitors are when you have a product because there are many products that do the same thing that are out there. So you have to identify the people that have similar product to you. Then you do your research. What are the things that people are what are the things that people are offering? Are they similar to this, that, the things I am offering? You know, do your research, you document it down, and then you test the product and see the reactions you get from your user. For them, from the reactions and the feedback you get when testing the product, document them, and then you know, day and day you start creating and maintaining, updating your product just to better certify um, the user so that the user can get satisfaction, derive joy, you know, feel happy whenever they interact with the product. Just as most of us we interact with Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram almost every day. If we don't like it, we won't go back to it. We won't be using WhatsApp. We will not like it. We don't like, the interface, the experience that we get when we interact with this app. So the user journey is a visualization of process that a person goes through, you know, in order to accomplish a goal. You understand? So that's the user journey map. And then I talked about wireframe. That is a UI design, you know. So the low fidelity wireframe and the high fidelity wireframe. High fidelity when you build with real life, real life designs. This one's the low fidelity wireframe is just making boxes, making shape where you want the interface to be, the way you want it to be when people scroll, how each box will be, everything is just, that is low fidelity when it's designed. And then when you are done with this thing to make sure this is how it's going to be, then you start inserting the pictures, the real life pictures and things that you want to make it look more, you know, eye catching. And that is under UI design. That is under UI design. So the process of prototype, you know, when you start off as uh, start off as sketch, you sketch your design on the paper, and then you're good to go. You start your low fidelity wireframes. Okay, this space is for pictures. This space are just for write up. This space is where you click to go to this space. And then when you are done with your low fidelity wireframe, you design everything and the way you want it to be. Then you move to your high fidelity. You start inserting things to make them look more realistic. You understand? So, and then you prototype it to make sure that everything is working, every design on the screen is working perfectly well before it's being handed over to coding, to the engineers for coding. And how before you hand over to engineers, you have to test your prototype with your users before you make it a product. You understand? You have to test your product with users, how users interact with your product, you get feedback, you know, and then you make adjustments and make everything okay before handing over. And then you testing with real users because we are the ones that use products. All these products that are out there now, we are the ones that are the users of this product. We are consumers of this product. So um, that would be that. With that, I can say we come to the end of today's class, today's section. How many do we have? We have eight people. Okay. Uh, so thank you all for joining us today. I can see new um new names. Some people that came in here yesterday. They most of them are not here today. Okay. So let's go to questions. I'll just head over to Slido and see if there's any question. Okay. Um, we have two questions here. A newbie crossing from a different career path into tech and have interest in UI UX design. What learning path is best? Udemy course, YouTube video, or one-on-one? Um, I would say Udemy videos are okay. Udemy videos are okay. You can have a good understanding watching videos and practicing. You can also have a good understanding um, using one-on-one teaching, one-on-one coaching. So it depends on the one you want to do. I personally, I learned online. Yeah, I started learning online. I started watching videos on YouTube. I also have videos on Udemy. I also bought videos on Coursera. You know, I started learning from different angles. I had friends, I had people who, who started before me in this UI UX. So that is how I learned. I had the help from one-on-one coaching. I had help from YouTube. I had help from Udemy. I also had help from Coursera. So whichever one that is okay for you, because here at Builder Studio, what we do is we do one-on-one online teaching, one-on-one online teaching. So whichever one best answers your question. What's his name? Sikiru Adewale. Okay. What's your advice for newbies? Academic background is accounting, and how to start is UI UX design with no experience. That's still Sikiru. Well, Let me give you an example. My brother and my friend is into tech now, but he doesn't have any background in tech. He studied engineering in school. He studied chemical engineering in school. And then when he came out, looked for job after service he didn't get, and then he started seeing all these online stuffs and started applying, started getting knowledge from them, and that is how he got a gig. And now he's into tech full time. He has been into tech for about 5 years now. So he started off from seeing ads online, you know, attending webinars. Webinars like this open your eyes to things that you do not know, things that you just think that they are just normal things, but they are not normal things. A lot of people are making money from these things. As a UI UX designer, you can work as a freelancer. You know, you can work as a freelancer and then you get paid in dollars. In this economy now, imagine you are designing a project and they are paying you per hour. They pay you per hour and they pay you per hour in dollars. They pay you per hour and your payment comes in dollars. There are platform where you can get jobs, remote jobs. You can be in Nigeria working in another country, and then who knows, before you know, you relocate to the country that you're working. So that's how tech is. So Sikiru, I hope um answered your question. So I think okay. More questions as we can see. I'm trying to check because of time. Somebody asked which is more profitable to work. Is it to work as a freelancer or to work in the company? Um, I personally, I started off as a freelancer. Then I didn't have a team. Nothing stops you from working in a company and also working as a freelancer. Freelancer is only when you have a job to do that you do. And once you are done doing that, you get paid for your time, for your work and everything. And then if you are working for your company, it doesn't stop you from getting gigs. In as much as you can manage your time, you understand, in as much as you can deliver on time, can manage your time, you are good to go. That is one of the advantages of working as working being working in tech, being fully present in tech. You can work from anywhere. You can work as a freelancer while working in a company, you know, doing multiple jobs all at the comfort of your home. You know. So let's check for taking one more question. One more question. Um, okay. Um, One more questions. Okay, say, what are the opportunities that are out there for UI UX designer? There are a lot of opportunities out there for a UI UX designer. There are a lot of products coming out. The internet is still evolving. A lot of things that needs to be done or can be done with mobile phones. Are still coming. You understand? So there are a lot of things that we can benefit as UI UX designers. A lot. It is endless. You just put it in your mind to learn. And once you learn, it doesn't take so much time to learn. It doesn't take so much time to start designing. Once you have a passion for design, somebody said, I have not designed before. Will this be an easy route? Yes, of course. There's always a first time for everything. You understand? There's always a first time. It's better late than never. You know. It's better late than never. You can go online on YouTube. How does this thing work? Let me see a design. Let me see a design, and then you start. You watch the video, you download it, and you start practicing. Start practicing. So that's how it works. So there are a lot of benefits attached to being a UI UX designer, someone that knows their onion. You know, there are a lot of benefits to that. And then if you've never made a design before, you never have work on the product before, there's always a first time to start. You understand? The mistake you make is not taking a step. Not taking a step. It's never too late. So I think that will be all for now. That will be the. I won't have time. I'm not sure there's time to take more questions from Slido. Um, I'm just going to anyone that wants to ask any question. I'm just going to give room for question. 2 minutes. You can um, unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, good evening, sir. Good evening. I want to ask a question about do UX and UI designer, do they deal with coding?
Okay, UI UX design doesn't deal with coding. No, they don't do with coding. That is a very big relief. You don't have to code. You don't have to code. Yours is just to design how it's going to look like. You don't have to design anything at all. When you design and you prototype, your design as a UI UX designer is what the engineering guys are going to use to code. You understand? It's the design that you make that the software engineers are going to code. So the way you design it is the way the software engineers are going to make it look, bringing it to life. Just as you are using your prototype to bring your designs to life, to make it responsive. That is how the engineers are going to bring your design to life, make it a product, a real life product. You understand? So, any other question? Any question at all?
Hello, good evening, sir. Hello, sir. I have a question, please. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here with you. I'm here with you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for everything. My question is, you said you started off with tutorial on YouTube. And most
Yes.
of one of the things we've observed on YouTube is you go to YouTube and you don't get the structure of things you need to learn. You just see this, see that, and you keep seeing random stuff that. And when you stay there to learn, even after a long time, you still discover that when you see another video again, you feel like you've never done enough or you've never been exposed to enough of this stuff. So is there any way we can help us solve that problem? Like maybe have an outline of what you are expected to learn and then we pick up from there? Or there's a place we can actually send us to that give us the information, or let me say the preamble of everything we may need to learn, and then on our own we can then go and look for a way to get it to get to learn it.
Okay. Um, that is um that is nice. Like I said, I started off with YouTube, but it wasn't all that rosy. Abubakar, yeah, it wasn't all that rosy. I can I can relate to what you are saying. When you see a video and then before you before you keep going, you see another video and then you feel like you've not done enough. So that is actually, yeah. So how I did then, or how I'm going to say you should do is, now that you know the differences between UI, UX, you want to you want to start as a UI designer, or you want to start as a UX designer. It all depends on you what you want now. So you can say you want to start learning about design elements. What are design elements? Videos on design elements. You know, when it comes to UI, this is what you want to learn. Although here at Builder Studio, we 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 teach. We give you step by step guide on how to do or what to do, how to go about, you know, taking a step in starting your tech career. So I don't know if there's anyone here that is not on the group chat. That person can indicate, is anyone here that is not on the Builder Studio group? How did you all join today? Was it through a group so that we'll make available resources for you to start off with? Anyone, so that I can know how to figure this out?
Yeah, I think I joined through the group.
Okay, you joined to the group. Okay, so we're going to be making available resources on how to go about starting off. You know what the what Builder Studio has planned for everyone. Those who wants to start their who are serious about starting their journey, because it's never too late. It's better late than never. Start now and then give yourself time to grow. It's all about consistency. When you keep designing, when you keep practicing on screens, different screens, when you see a design, you just take a screenshot and then decide to design it. You can start from the basic actually, like Abubakar said. I said start from the basic design elements, get to know about fonts, how you use fonts on design tools, design environment, how you use what are layouts, what layouts are all about, because these are the things that you use to design when you start designing. So you need to know about the basics like fonts, the layout, the color patterns, color palettes. These are these things that you need to learn how to what each of them do and how they help your design. Once you know how to do these things and how to find them in your design environment, it will be easy for you to design on the screen. And then when you keep doing it, you start understanding the concepts. You start realizing that this thing is actually the things that we use in our day-to-day life. This is how they design it, and this is how they all start. So please stay tuned to the groups. Resources will be dropped on each group. This is design, so the resource will be dropped on the design group, not immediately after today, but for the end of the bootcamp. Yeah, so thank you. Any other questions? Any other blocker? Anyone? Before we call it a wrap.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Good evening. I have a question, please.
All right, we can hear
So,
you. Please go ahead.
my question is actually about user journey and task flow.
You
Can
said
you share
sorry?
the? I said my question is about user journey and task flow.
Okay.
Yes. Can you just shed a little bit more light on it, please?
Okay.
Yes.
the user journey map. Okay, so the user journey is how how you interact with your product, how a user interacts with your product, and how you start creating a journey for that user. Take for example, when you I said something about that yesterday. When you download an app, you download Spotify app now, and you want to listen to Burna Boy's music. So you download the app and you register. You go through the onboarding process, and then you search for Burna Boy. It gives you Burna Boy, and then it gives you songs relating to Burna Boy. Maybe you search for Burna Boy, City Boys. It gives you Burna Boy, City Boys. It gives you other artists that sang City Boys, and then it gives you a suggestion of songs that Burna Boy has been featured. Like that, now it has started creating a journey for you. If you search for another artist, let's say you search for Davido, it brings Davido. It starts bringing the kind of music, the kind of artist that you like. You know, if you search for David, it brings similar artists like David, a world class artist like David, like Burna Boy. It brings Whiskey. You know, if you don't search for a foreign artist, it doesn't come. A foreign artist suggestion doesn't come. You understand? You are building the customer journey. You understand the things that you like, how you want to interact with the product. The product is already giving that feeling. So that is what user journey is practically all about. You know, it starts giving you tips, you know, start giving you suggestions, starts making you know things that uh, the user likes, or the way the user wants to interact with your product, or the way this user interacts with your product. So Oluwatola, did I answer your question? Is that clear enough?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So any other questions? Is Pelumi back? If okay, those of us joining us today, you can actually unmute yourself and then introduce yourself so that we will know who we are and where we are joining from.
Aisha, I'm not just joining today. I only changed my name from Lady Yomide.
Okay, yes,
Basically,
because I
Kehinde
was
Afan.
okay. I was actually waiting. Because I knew I didn't see a particular name, Lady Yomide. So you are Kende Afapa, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me the attendance for yesterday and today, do they correspond?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
I'm not
Mary.
just joining. I joined as iPhone yesterday, so I had to change my name today. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay. Thank you all for taking corrections yesterday. Um Pelumi,
Hello.
Yes, I'm
yes.
with you.
Good
Yeah,
evening.
Abubakar. Yeah,
Yes,
Abubakar.
I'm joining. I'm just joining today. Yesterday, I tried to join. I kept seeing. I saw a request to join, request pending or something, and then eventually along the line I could not join. So I'm joining
Okay.
for the first time. Yes. I'm Abubakar Yahya. Like you can see here, from Abuja. Joined from
Okay.
Abuja. Awesome.
Okay. Welcome, Abubakar, and thank you for joining. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah,
Good evening,
thanks for the
Adewale
insight
Siki.
and the value. Yeah, so my name is Adewale Security. I joined yesterday and I joined today too.
Okay. Thank you all very much for joining. And please, I hope everyone is on the group.
Yeah, I'm on the group.
Yeah, okay. So the resources will be dropped on the group, and then you can, read about it and try your best possible to make sure that you grow yourself. Because after all said and done, if you don't decide to put all this thing into practice, it's, it's just a waste of time. You have to try. Now that you've gotten a knowledge of these things, you need to try and make sacrifices to learn. Because at the end of the day, you'll be happy you did, to open your mind to a lot of things that you know that you could do, but you just needed a little pushing, a little push from behind. So the boot camp continues tomorrow. It ends tomorrow. So please do well to join. Like I said, we have a lot in store for you guys. So you wait till tomorrow to find out. And then there's a package we call internship as a service. Yeah, where you have to work on real life, real life screens, real life situations, real life projects, real life products. You work and you see these things. They are projects that we use in our day to life. People use it. So you'll be given the opportunity if and only if you remain with us. You understand? So that will help you grow, just as Mr. Damola has helped me grown from just being a junior UI UX designer to senior level UI UX designer. Thank you all very much. My name remains
Sorry,
Daniel Onah.
so, sorry. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's
Sorry,
good.
before you go, I observed that I am being used as the host at the moment. I don't know how it happened.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if
Probably.
it's yeah.
Oh, probably. Um, Pelumi went offline, and then
Oh,
it
okay.
made you post. So when it came back, since you were still here, the host remained with you. So it doesn't really matter. I
Okay.
will
So,
just going to
so just wanted to
you
know if
were
there's
saying
anything I
something.
need to do after the webinar.
No, no, no.
Hello?
There's nothing you need to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back.
Thank
You were
you.
saying something.
Yes, please, can you help me clarify this a little? Hello?
Okay. Yeah, I can
Yes,
hear you. I can.
actually, this is not the group I wanted to join.
Okay.
Yes, I'm more of I'm more of a marketing person. I do
Okay.
copywriting here and there, and then a couple of times I have issues like personal thing I wanted to do myself, and when I give guys copy to actually put it on flyers and other spaces for me, they just mess it up. I'm never satisfied with the design, like the feel of the writing and the color and everything. But I don't know how to do all these things. And then every time I kept looking for, okay, how do I go about this? So I wanted to join um, products management, where the way I think it is this. Maybe in the product management, I'll get a little feel of the design, at least the element of design. Let me understand what it is. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, I understand you.
Okay, that was what I was looking for. And then I just landed here. I don't know if this would work for me, but the problem I'm actually looking to solve is I want to write a copy and advertorials, and then with those beautiful designs and something. I'm not sure if I want to do it myself, honestly, but I think I need to know enough to actually guide someone that this is what I want.
Yes, Abubakar, thank you for sharing. You are in the right place. You are in the right place. You are in the right place. This is product, it is fundamentals of product design, and you are actually in the right place at the right time. So these questions, the clarifications you need
Yes.
will be provided, but you should know that you said something. I'm just trying to recall what you said. You should know that you said you are into copywriting, right?
Copyright. Copyright. Yes,
Yes.
I'm passionate about sales and selling.
Yes. So, and you want to be able to put this into the designs. You want to be able to do them yourself, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you are in the
Even
right
if I
place.
can't do it myself, but I should understand deeply to be able
Yes.
to transfer what I want exactly. When I
Yeah.
write the words, yes, I need some the feel of something or know something just to make it look communicate my message properly.
Yes. Yeah. You are in the right place. You need to start from the basics. You know, for you to get the feel, you need to put your mind to learning. Just put your mind to learning. You are at the right place, and we have lots and lots of packages for people like you. You know, like I said earlier yesterday, a lot of people they actually know what they want to do, but they don't know how to go about it. They don't know what step to take. You know, but here at Builder Studio, we are sure to give you a push. You know, we are here to assist you in your journey of breaking into tech. So, Bello, Abubakar, you are in the right place and you are welcome. Please do send us a message on the group so that we will remember and keep you on track. So,
All
tomorrow
right.
will be the final day for the bootcamp. Mr. Domola will be talking so much. So, try your best and not do not miss it for anything. So, you get the packages and you know what are in store for you if you decide to embark with us on this journey of breaking into tech. So with that, I will come to the end of today's section.
Very before
Thank you
you
so
go,
much.
please. I don't know if I can connect with you on LinkedIn. I know you're on LinkedIn.
Yes, you can connect with me, and then you can connect with me on Instagram. Anyhow you feel
Okay.
you want to
The
connect.
name on LinkedIn is it your still the same name, Daniel Onah, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm trying to. I'm on LinkedIn at the moment, so I'm trying to connect. But I've not seen the Daniel
Uh,
Onah. I'm saying is the description is 3D animator. I don't know if that's you.
no, when you see mine, you will know it's me. I will drop it on the group so
Okay, please.
you
I'll
will
appreciate
return.
you have the link on the group.
All right, no problem. Okay.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, thank you very much all for joining, and do
Thank you
have
so
a
much.
wonderful night.
You too, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so Pelumi, Pelumi, can you hear me?
I'm with you.
Okay, so that's all for today, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So thank you all for
You
joining.
can stop it.
Yes, I did already. I did already. All right, thank you very much, and do have a wonderful night.
Good night, sir.
Yeah, bye.